What's up, y'all? I'm Sheila J, and welcome to the Diva Dish. This episode is all about our book 3, Raising Kanan. We're at episode 3. Last episode was extremely eventful. We lost D-Wiz. Rest in peace, D-Wiz. We saw how Jukebox sticks and moves to get her goods. Davina asking Kanan, what's up? Did you know that D-Wiz killed Buck 20? Of course, again, D-Wiz getting shot. Lulu looking shook over it. All right, before we jump into this, if you've been here before, thank you so much for coming back. This is your first time, please hit that subscribe button, smash that notification bell. I'd really appreciate it. And let's get into this episode. All right, so it starts out, we're at the store. 50 is doing his narration thing that he does so well, talking about the hood, how this young man's game. You got to be able to stick and move and run if you need to. Basically, Malcolm and the white chick, they staking out the store, trying to see what's going on so they can get some insight into this Buck 20 thing. And, infiltrating drug activity. So they get after the boy that was guarding the trap house talking shit to Kanan child. Tim. So he's running from Malcolm. Malcolm will give him a good run, child, but eventually it's over. Dude stops, checks his sneaks, his Jordan's still icy white. So moving on. So the next scene, Power is doing what Power does, child. So, it's a booty scene, child. Symphony and Rock. And, she's telling him about, how he basically rocks her world. And joshes him about being in college, whatever. So he's like, I got to get this paper done or some crap, child. So she's like, I got a computer, get on it. At first, I was kind of like, computer. But then I thought it's the 90s, child. You can do them. But type of damn paper. It wasn't no internet, none of that. So it's all good. Anyway, so Kanan comes home and Kanan said, dude, on his computer. He like, dude, really? So my take. Why you letting this dude up in your house like this? You know him like that? Not wise. You seem extremely smart. Yeah, I feel like that is going to come back to haunt her. Moving on. So baby Symphony got up on the computer and was like, looking at Rock, scolding. He's like, no kid wants to see a half-naked man sitting on his computer. Rock was like, you did with the concrete, I did with my son. Moving on. So first thing, just like I said, my take, first thing Kanan says, make it in the car. He was like, so we let dude sleep over at the house and get on my computer. Ma'am, Rock. Basically, she was like, mind your business. But on to other things, we need to go see D-Wiz's mama. And so Kanan shook. He's like, oof. And it is like, Rock, you had that boy killed. Slut. Yeah, Kanan's pressed. I feel like it's not been revealed yet what his thoughts are about how D-Wiz died, but I feel like it's going to come out at some point. But I feel like now he's like mulling over in his mind like, this was very convenient. Moving on. Child, then we cut to the police station. Maybe this little captain dude, he's funny. He was like, so basically we ran across town, ran down some drug dealers and got shit. Basically this boy who was Buck 20, I guess he was some type of basketball star, child. And we have no answers. What you doing? Clowning them, child. So they're strategizing, trying to come up with a way to, get intel into what happened to Buck 20, child. So I need something. I need money on the table, drugs on the table, cameras, PR, press conferences. What the fuck? Y'all brought me a whole bunch of corner boys? Really? Groundbreaking. Bye-bye. Moving on. So Rock's in the car with Lulu and Marlon. And they talking about, the blogs, how unique boys are on the blogs. They're making their money. And how, their crew is dismantled slightly. I guess since the whole rundown when, Malcolm and the white girl came and got a whole bunch of people, took them down to the jailhouse. They was there for maybe 2 days. Lulu was like, we need to move everything to the bodega, the store that they were vetting last episode. And Marlon's like, no. Rock was like, that's just a short-term solution to a long-term problem. We need a bigger move. So Marlon is like, what the fuck are you talking about, a bigger move? People blame die for these corners. We need to keep these corners. And Rock and Lulu like, dissension, my take. Got the small thinker, the big thinker, Marlon. You want to act right? Moving on. So yeah, Rock is like, we got to do something else because, we still have the cameras put in at the bodega. And again, that's a short-term solution to a long-term problem. So now we meet a new character, the actor guy from The Wire. He was in the Deuce, which is an excellent show on HBO. If you've not seen it, it is so, so compelling. So good. Azumadine Tippin is who Rock comes to see. He runs South Jamaica, Queens as far as the drug gang goes. Like, he's the godfather. Everybody has to come see him. So Rock comes and sees him. And, he's like, I heard about what happened. I heard it was one of your boys that did it. Basically, he knows the tea and told her that if anything like this happened again, it would be a problem. And then he continues, he's at a church, child, playing some bingo or something with his grandma or somebody. So the bodyguard is familiar with Rock, who walks her in and out. And you can tell, there's some type of palm greasing on the horizon. Moving on. Child, then we cut to Malcolm Davis. He's at the doctor's office. He has cancer. And it is at the stage where he has maybe 6 months to live. And he's like, my mom and dad are dead. I guess he didn't have any kids because she was like, this is a genetic thing. So anybody in close, immediate family or relatives need to get tested immediately because it is terminal. So he's like, I don't have anybody. No. So he leaves. He gets back in the car with his partner and basically tells her he's fine. So he's pressed, of course, leaving the doctor's office. And he, again, rants on her, basically asks her, I'm about this. What are you about? What do you give a damn about? He said, you should have been a nurse. Rude. Moving on. What's my take? On this part, I see blood on the horizon. Malcolm does not have much to live for, y'all. He's dying in 6 months. He's angry. He's bitter. And I think he is going to go out with a hell of glory, child. Breaking all the rules. It's going to be bad. Moving on. So then we cut to a lighter note. We see Jukebox with her girl. Her little lover girl. You know how they used to have those booths in the mall where you could sing? Where Mary J. Blige was discovered, child. That was a New York thing. I don't think they had it down south in Memphis. Anyway. So she, her and the girl, they go to the booth and they do the deal. I want to think of you on two occasions. What's that? Let's stay at night. Yeah, it's cute. Moving on. So that was sweet. That was light. So then Jukebox gets a page, beep, 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 and it's her squad. Letting her know it's time to re-up on the goods. So she's got to go. And her girlfriend is like, I know you got to go meet your people to, to make your money. And she was kind of scolding her a little bit. And Jukebox was like, don't be talking mess now. Okay. This was cute. I got to go take care of business. And I'll talk to you later. My take. Oh, child. Ooh, I don't see good things for this girlfriend. I don't know, y'all. I feel like she's going to do a little much trying to help her and get herself caught up, child. Moving on. So then, child, Marlon goes to see Tony at the club. This girl toy. Oh, Marlon is the original F-boy from the 90s, child. He brings her a dog. Because his sister mutilated and microwaved hers. So she thanks him. Moving on. So in this next scene, we're at the trap house, child, and Kanan is there talking with dude. I don't even know his name. The dude with the white Jordans, child, that be clowning. His babysitter. So who are they saying Shadi with? I don't know, man. I heard it was like a rival for a 20. And then he looked at him, he said, well, what'd you hear? I heard the same thing. Then Kanan gets to looking at the window, child, and Davina's going by with her little sister in the stroller. So, child, he runs outside, and the dude is like, oh, dude, this is the whole trap house. Can't be running outside, waving at people. Nobody's supposed to know we're here but the drug people. So he runs up to her. He's like, hey, what's going on? What's going on? She's like, what you doing here? Who lives here? And it looks like a crack house. It did. Baby, he just grinning. So he's like, listen, I saw a for sale sign in front of your house. And she was like, yeah, we're selling our house. It was our dad's, Pampers aren't free and we need the money. So he was pressed. So she was like, I'll see you later. Moving on. So then we cut to the church house and Rock is talking to the bodyguard that she was real familiar with when they went to see El Boy. So she was like, look, I know that move down south is very expensive because clearly he's made it known that he wants to move down south because it's getting hot in New York. She basically gives him the money and he said, what do you want in return? She said, I want to know when Big Daddy's drop is. And he was like, all right. So she gives him the news. He gives her the drop point. She gives him the money. And we begin. Moving on. So this next scene, we cut to a warehouse type situation. Looks like there's 18 wheelers, trucks and stuff with a lot of products. Jukebox is there with her crew. They're all, scarfed up, child, covering their faces. And they basically bum rush these vans and take as much product as they can. So this looks like a DEA agent maybe, or a security guard or somebody, child, comes up and this dude starts stomping him out. And, Jukebox is like, stop, which is crazy because, Jukebox is crazy. Okay. But she's like, stop, don't do that, whatever. So she looks at him for a minute and then she just runs off. It's a moment of reckoning. Maybe the next time she's going to turn into a killer. I don't know, but she definitely becomes one. Moving on. So in this next scene, we cut to Rock talking to Malcolm. Remember I said I thought they were quite familiar. So she basically tells him where Drop's going to be. The intel she just paid for in the scene before. So, Malcolm's like, why are you telling me this? And she's like, look, I got to be strategic. Basically, I'm playing the game, positioning myself so that I can make this big move that we don't know what it is yet, but it's something. So, he takes it. And, but we also know on the flip side, he wants Unique to win. So, yeah, moving on. So, yeah. So they come to the studio to deliver the drugs. And what's so cool is that Lulu, I guess Lulu, Rock, and Marlon's dad was a DJ or an engineer. And he would go to the studio with his dad. So he knew all the stuff, right? So he's asking the engineer, what's this? What's the BPM? All that technical engineer talk. Yeah, he knew all that. And the engineer was clowning him. He was like, dude, don't know that you need to give him some pointers. And dude was like, but I signed him checks. Moving on. His name was Crown Camacho. Kind of looking like his daddy. Fade, glasses, overalls. Very 90s. Child. I'll be sure number 2. Camacho. Crown Camacho. 50 was like, he figured it'd be cooler to be a hip hop dude than a drug dealer. So that's what he went with. Moving on. Cut to Kanan is at Jukebox's house. And he comes into Jukebox's room and Marlon is in there rambling, child. Looking for a belt, he said. I don't get that. Why he was looking for a belt. I don't know, maybe it's because Jukebox wears his clothes. He knows Jukebox steals clothes. I mean, they seem very honest with one another. I can't see that being a surprise for him. But anyway, so Candy comes up and he's like, what you doing? It's like, oh, I'm looking for my belt. Jukebox got my belt. Okay. So basically, Candy's like, look, I want some work. What I feel like it is, my take, I feel like when Davina was like, my mom got to sell her house, and he thought of the idea of Davina moving, he was like, I got to put in some work so I can pay for my baby to stay. Like, love the girl. So he was like, in exchange, I'll tell my mom that, she should trust you more. Game. She should trust you more. I got you. I know what to say. She'll listen to me. Okay? Leverage. And Marlon's like, all right, I'll give you some. Gave him something, said, it's been pretty stepped on. So, gotta sell it as it is. It can't go no lower. So he's like, all right, cool. He's like, don't tell my mom. He's like, I won't. Don't you tell my sister. Good, we're good. So then Jukebox comes to see Kanan, funny enough. And then she sees Rock. Rock is in Kanan's room and she's holding the program from D Wiz's funeral. So she's basically like, this could have been Kanan easily. True. So Jukebox sits down and she's grinning because of course she's just come from her girlfriend and she's got a nice little stash from her little, spree. And Rock was like, what's got you grinning? Like you grinning, child. And Jukebox was like, she was like, you're in love. And she's like, I'm in love too. And we're like 2 little schoolgirls ready to get each other's hair. It's kind of cute. But the last words of that conversation, child, was, we deserve to smile every once in a while. There's something ominous on the horizon whenever those words are spoken. So the next scene, we see Lulu talking to his girlfriend, and she's like, listen, my brother is the next special ed. You need to put him on. I know what you're doing. I was listening to what you were saying. You knew about all the boards and the BPMs and all that. So let's get about it. And she gave him a little kiss, child, so he felt like the man, and I'm pretty sure they're going to get about it. Moving on. So then we cut to Malcolm is in there with his sergeant. He geeked. He like, look, I got something. I got the drop. You know what I'm saying? We about to get the drugs on the table, the money on the table is going down. So the sergeant was like, I don't know if y'all gonna get this right. So we gotta go do this on the low. And provided everything goes all right, you'll get the credit. Provided it's a shit show, it's on you. Okay? Moving on. Then we got to the park, and Kanan got his work, baby. He's ready to make his money. So Jukebox is giving him the business. She's like, listen, you would sell it for 25 in the hood. Here with these white people, we can get a good old 50 for it. Kind of look like you got something to sell, but then kind of look like you don't know what you're doing at the same time. And just be quick about it, and you'll be all right. So he's shaking, child. Child, then we cut to Rocky and this symphony again, getting it in, child. He was like, once again, basically, he's like, oh, well, okay, we get it, Rocky. It's a trip because she was like, I don't know what you want with me. And he was like, I don't know what you want with me. Is it genuine? We'll see. I think it's convenient. So we go back to the park. Kanan is there, he makes his first sale, child. And Famous is, of course, battling with these dudes. So it cuts back to Rock and Symphony. I feel like something is about to happen with the two of them. They're just showing, it's a lot focused on their interactions in this episode. Everything has a purpose, which is why I love the show. But yeah, it cuts back to them and they're talking, and he was like, look, I'm sorry I said something about how you should deal with Kanan. And she's grinning, she's like, it's all right, it's no problem. Yeah, I don't know. My mind is not made up about him. I mean, she's an attractive woman. I mean, it would not be hard to have an attraction and do what they're doing. He just looks a little too clean to me. After he says that, she was like, I shouldn't have snapped on you like I did. Rocky. I mean, I'm not saying you got to be a stark raving bitch all the time, but you don't know him like that. I think she's just extremely open and familiar to someone you just met, like at best 3 weeks ago, ma'am, Rocky. All right, so then now we're at the drop. We got Malcolm and his partner there. I'm gonna learn her name, Jesus. They are staking out the place. She notices that this car drives around. She's like, this is the second time around. Then it cuts to the car where the guys are that have the drugs. And, he comments on, yeah, that's our guy. He always drives around 3 times. So then we know he's got one more time to come around. So, Malcolm and he calls the cops that are in the van that is right up the street, right behind the car. And he's like, look, y'all turn on the goddamn air. The wind is fogging up. Y'all look, obvious as hell. Stop. Oh my God. Okay, so the next scene. Kanan goes to see Davina, and he sold his drugs in the park. So he went and bought her some groceries, gave her some money. Child, we got him some sugar. So cute. All right, so then we cut back to the drop. The guy's in his crack pipe. He's standing outside the car, watching everything go on. They're doing their normal thing. The person comes up to get the drugs. He sees the van with the windows fogged up, child, and he's like, 5-0. So, of course, they scurry along. So they're chasing the drug guys, and they hit a car of the guys with the drugs. T-boned them. Then in this last scene, Kanan and Rock are going to see the Wiz's mama. Baby, Rock held her hand, reached out and held Kanan's hand. It was like the most comforting killer. Savage boots. Savage. I smell blood coming. Okay? I see Davina and Kanan getting closer. Still not sure what's going on with this whole Rock and Symphony thing, child, baby. They getting it in. Okay? But and it seems like they're developing rapport, but I just can't get over the fact that she don't really know him that good. And she letting him all up in the house, sitting on Kanan's stuff that met Kanan. Ooh, I don't know. I don't think it's wise. And then now Kanan and Marlon have made this side deal. Lulu's looking to go in another direction because his girl pulling his tail about this whole engineering thing because she want to get her brother on. It's a lot going on. Yeah. Can't wait to the next one. This episode was excellent. Definitely more of a developmental storytelling, putting things in place, perspective type episode versus all the action that we saw the first 2 episodes. But I ain't mad at this episode, but it was good. Yeah, if you've been here before, again, thank you so much for coming back. If this is your first time, please hit the subscribe button, smash that notification bell so you can be notified when I drop a new video. And I will see you guys next time. Bye.